and game creation platform that's ridiculously popular with kids.
Shares of U.S. gaming company Roblox soared in its trading debut on the New York Stock Exchange.
So over the past 3 decades, user-generated content, UGC platforms, and their games has transformed the way people interact with each other online. It has allowed people of all ages to create, to share, to play with the content that others have generated. Imagine a world where the most fun yet simple games are built by users like you. Welcome to the universe of user-generated content platforms.
Minecraft.
While Minecraft, using their blocky brilliance, has allowed for over 300 million people to craft anything from their imagination. Roblox has captivated and hooked hundreds of millions of players on their endless creator-made adventures and games. And now there's a new kid on the block, HYTOPIA, the UGC powerhouse bringing fresh voxel vibe with lightning-fast creation tools without the severely restrictive user agreements from Mojang and Microsoft, thus giving gamers and creators a wide-open canvas to build, to share, and monetize their work. So from epic builds to mind-blowing games, these UGC platforms are rewriting the rules to gameplay. In this video, I'll be going over the history and evolution of UGC platforms, from a simple block to becoming some of the biggest platform where developers and gamers spend billions of hours on. Now, before UGC platforms were ever a thing, video game modding was a necessary precursor that led to this explosion of content. So let me take you back in time. It was 1993 where MS-DOS computers, I know for those of you who are old enough to remember, your grandparents thought it was the greatest invention since Coca-Cola. It was in December of that year that the game Doom launched. For those of you who don't know a lot about Doom, it's one of the first-person shooter games that initially came out. It's a very fast-paced game where you play as a space marine called Doom Guy fighting demons from the hell of Mars. As you can see, Doom was a very simple game and not considered a high quality in today's standard, but it played a pivotal and important role in establishing the precursor step to a lot of these large, massive UGC platforms that we see today. So what is modding and why is it so important in this story? Well, if you take a look at Doom, it's a very simple game. Now, the original creators of Doom, ID Software, they intentionally built the game's engine and data structure in a way that makes it extremely easy for other players to create and share modification. These are called mods to the game, allowing for significant customization in graphics, enemies, levels, weapons, and other aspects of the game without needing to alter the core game engine itself. So this is what modding is, and this is what made way to a huge, massive amount of user-generated content that was to explode in the near future. So to Doom's credit, they did capture over 20 million players in the first 2 years, and it became a revolutionary game that really influenced the first-person shooter genre and the modding scene. So after Doom came a lot of popular titles like Habbo Hotel in the year 2000 that allowed a lot of gamers to create and modify their content within virtual environments. And then for those of you who remember The Sims, the franchise that brought you the very popular game The Sims, they dominated the 2000s. So the game lasted over 20 years and people are still playing it today, and it clocked in over 200 million copies that were sold. So these were the initial players and game developers that started this entire modding and user-generated content revolution, but what was to come, no one would be ready for. So Roblox is the biggest user-generated content platform that's out there right now. So if you don't have kids or younger children or family members, you may have not heard of Roblox, so let me tell you all about it. So Roblox right now has over 90 million daily active users, over 300 million monthly active players, and then they've clocked in more than 8 billion registered accounts. 20 billion hours in terms of playtime with 4 million developers and developing over 9 million experiences and mini games for users of all ages to enjoy on their platform. So how did they get there? Let me tell you a little bit about it. So it was in 1989 where partners Eric Castle and David Baszucki built their 2D simulated physics lab called Interactive Physics, and they took it around to see what kids and teenagers would do with it, such as modeling two cars crashing or building destructible homes. Although these were very simple models, they would become the core building blocks of the Roblox that we know of today. So fascinated with what the children and younger players were doing, the partners wanted to replicate this on a grander scale. They wanted to make a game where it allowed people to build things, to break things, and just share their crazy idea and imagination with other people. And this is where Roblox was born.
The day we launched, we had no SEO, no SEM, no nothing. We went for several months having 5 people online at the same time.
In the earlier days, things were extremely simple, and complex meant adding a block or two, so there was a lot of work to be done. But the founders didn't give up. What they kept on doing was adding features, upgrading graphics, engaging the community, and constantly letting creators unleash their imagination on the platform. And I think a critical step and milestone that made Roblox successful was that the founders realized very early,
and our community creates better content than we could create. They monetize, they help us monetize in ways we never could. They attract viral users in ways we haven't been able to, like they do it, their games are fun. So it's really trusting the power of our community.
To get out of the way, develop the tools that will allow creators and developers to come and build many mini game and experiences on the platform that they themselves could never have dreamed of. And if you just jump over to the platform today, you could see that there are hundreds and thousands of games. There's actually been over 4 million games and over 8 million experiences that have been developed on Roblox. So there are millions of games and experiences on Roblox today. I can't show you everything. I just wanted to give you a quick tour of 3 very popular games that we'll come back to later on. So the first one is Brookhaven, which is a role-playing game. It's a social sandbox game where you live in a city, you drive around, you role-play with friends. There's no rules and you just kind of vibe around in town. And you can see right over here, it's just me and Ark exploring around town, seeing what's there to do around Brookhaven town. So if we just jump right over here, we could see that Brookhaven, their stats over 600,000 users, concurrent CCUs, lifetime visit of 61 billion with an average session of 16 minutes. When you go down just from February of this year to, February 27th, the last 2 weeks, you could see that they clocked in 700 million visitors with an average of about 47 million daily active visits. So just from one mini game on Roblox, one of the most popular mini games on Roblox, you can see the amount of people who are playing this. And then another very popular game is Adopt Me. So it's a cute pet raising sim game where you kind of adopt the pets, you raise them, you trade them, you care for them while building your perfect home. And if you take a look at the stats for Adopt Me right over here, you can see there's 100,000 players with 38 billion lifetime visits. And if you take a look in this month alone, these last 2 weeks, you can see it's 144 million total visits and an average of almost 10 million daily visits. So all the games on Roblox, especially the really popular ones, they do extremely well. There's actually a lot of people playing these games every single day. And if we look at total registration between the years of 2020 to 2025, where they started off at 1.5 billion registration and touched all the way to 8 billion registration, you can see that this number was jumping by about 3.6 million new registrations every single day. This is when the platform entirely took off during COVID, when lots of children were home and playing it. And if we go into the 2023 report, you can see that the users and players on Roblox are extremely young. You can see that under 9, there's 21%, and then under 12 is 21%. So there's 42% of all players below the ages of 12. And then when you look at 13 to 16, that's 16%. So under 16 makes up 58% of the players. And then 17 to 24, there's 23%, and only about 1/5 of the users who are about 25 or older. So you can see that this audience is a really young audience. So how did Roblox achieve this behemoth platform when they don't make any of the games of their own? Well, the secret lies in them arming their players and developers with the tools that allowed them to mod and make their own games. So the secret sauce behind Roblox was really unlocking that limitless imagination and potential for developers. They created a creators hub, and through their Roblox studio, their client, and their cloud, it enabled people to develop a lot easier. It educated developers in order for them to make their own games. So Robux is the way to monetize on Roblox. It's its in-game currency. Now, users and players can buy Robux. You can see right over here, you can purchase 500 for about $7 US in order for you to buy items, in-game skins, experiences, to respawn, to level up, whatever it is that your heart desires. On the other side, for developers, when making a game or an experience, they can cash out and make real USDs by earning Robux and developing their experience. So how much can developers make with their game on Roblox? Well, that depends on your experience and how many players come, and there's a lot of games, but some of the top teams are doing extremely well. Let me show you. If you come right over here, you can see the cost of Roblox, right? They say that 72% covers both experience platform operations and payments directly to developers. But as a developer, your share of the Robux is only 25%. So Roblox takes 75% in order to cover for their costs. And if we come right over here to the developer exchange, we can see that for every 30,000 Robux, you get about $105 US for it. Although nobody really knows how much Roblox developers make besides himself, there was actually a video in 2021 when there was an internal leak. This was by Mental Outlaw, the YouTuber. He posted this right over here where you could see the internal data, how much each game made in 2021. So Adopt Me, remember that game? It actually clocked in 22 billion Robux, whereas Brookhaven clocked in about 4.8 billion Robux. This was back, 4 or 5 years ago already. In today's value in terms of USD, when you convert those 22 billion Robux, it actually works out to be $77 million today. And for the parent company Roblox itself, it's come a really long way from a platform with almost no users and very basic mechanics. In 2024, it did 3.6 billion in terms of revenue, and 2023 was 2.79 billion, and it continues to grow. So you can see that even for the largest UGC platform in the world right now, it took them over 20 years. So it's important to emphasize that you need to have patience, tenacity, and be able to arm your creators, your users, your developers with the tools so that they can unleash that limitless imagination in order to drive this platform to where it needs to be today. So fast forward to 2009, on the other side of the world, Marcus Pearson, who goes by his online alias of Notch, is working on a project called RubyDung. So Notch started creating a very simple idea, Texture Atlas, which is a large image file that contained a lot of texture. Initially, it only contained 2 with grass and cobblestone. He simply created a digital landscape and that he filled with trees, and he called it RubyDung. But it wasn't until April 29th of 2009 when Notch came across a game called Infinity Miner that would plant the seeds for the early ideas of Minecraft. So Infinity Miner was a very simple multiplayer block-based sandbox game where you would play as miners digging up buildings, searching for minerals, and carving out tunnels in order to obstruct and impede the opposite team. Now, although this was the goal of the game, but as the players started playing the game, they quickly abandoned the goal and found out new and interesting ways in order to build other structures. So Notch quickly became really interested and fascinated with this idea of an open world building game. Now, unfortunately for Infinity Miner, as good of a game as it did with its launch, unfortunately it ran into major technical difficulties and the different versions of the game could not be compatible with each other. So after a while, Zach Barth, the co-founder of Infinity Miner, abandoned the game and made it open source. So Notch saw this as the perfect opportunity to go back to his RubyDung, starts to make improvements and tweaks towards it, and then calls it Cave Game. So the game starts out with a bare minimum. You have some terrain, some floating cubes, and you can add some spawning Steves that will run around you. By May of 2009, he decides to change the name from Cave Game into Minecraft. So he continues to build on this momentum by adding more choices, more blocks, multiplayer, different game modes, things like creepers, zombies, skeletons, spiders, a lot of different options, and continuously iterates upon Minecraft. And by November 18th of 2011, Minecraft officially launches its full version in Las Vegas to the public.
Notch is going to officially release Minecraft.
From a single block, Minecraft sparked a revolution. Simple builds morphing into epic adventures, wild minigames, and sprawling worlds. What began as a sandbox grew well beyond anyone's wildest dreams, redefining gaming forever.
Ultimate game of all time, Minecraft.
It soon captivated a generation of audience, growing faster with content creators of all sizes, big and small, generating daily content from Minecraft. And Minecraft videos became one of the fastest and most rapid growing categories on YouTube, reaching all the way to 1 trillion views. So with Minecraft's ever-increasing dominance and presence, on September 15th of 2014, it caught the attention of Microsoft.
Mojang has confirmed it's being sold to Microsoft for $2.5 billion.
And from there on, they never looked back. Minecraft, being one of the most successful games, has now sold over 300 million copies worldwide. And if you look at the player stat, similar to Roblox, Minecraft has been growing ever since. From 2018 of 75 million users to all the way to 2024, where they're averaging over 204 million monthly active users. And their average daily peak user counts is roughly over 50 million in 2024. And then if we look at the player base, it's very similar to Roblox with a very young group. Less than 15 years old, about 1/5, so 20%. 15 to 21, 43%. That's the bulk majority of people playing Minecraft. So if you put these two together, that's 64%. And then from 22 to 30 is 1/5 with 21%. And then finally from 30 to 65 is 15%. So you can see this is a very young player base. And on Minecraft, they use Minecoins, which is very similar to Robux of Roblox. This is their in-game currency. So the Minecoins are used to purchase in-game items like skins, texture packs, worlds where you can customize maps, minigames, and add-ons that really enhance the gameplay experience. So as successful as Minecraft is as a UGC platform, ever since Microsoft took over Mojang, there was a lot of problems. If you didn't see my last video, I talked about a lot of these issues that were going on.
Infected him.
So players were really unhappy. There was little happening between 2014 and 2018. The updates were stagnant to non-existent, with some very severely restrictive user agreements. This was upsetting their core user base and alienating creators from the platform.
Minecraft just doesn't feel the same anymore.
And this negative sentiment was being echoed online. Now, make no mistake, Microsoft, Mojang, and Minecraft is a behemoth to challenge. But with stagnation, zero growth, and innovation, this leaves the door open for another player to come in and fill that void. It was October of 2021. HYTOPIA actually started out as NFT worlds at a time where it was really exciting. People were buzzing about metaverses, Web3 gaming, and NFTs.
We believe the metaverse will be the successor to the mobile internet.
The euphoria and rush was never felt like that before. So during those days, the initial 10,000 worlds that minted out for free, you could see that some of these worlds were trading for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000, all the way up to 160,000 per world. And at that time, the world token hit an all-time high of 62 cents in February 19th of 2022, giving it an over $200 million market cap. And you could see that the project was growing really rapidly, gaining a lot of traction with over 100,000 Minecraft players, over 200,000 strong NFT World community members, and then over $200 million of secondary trading on their NFT worlds. So on July 20th of 2022, Mojang and Microsoft came up with these changes to the user agreement regarding anybody using Minecraft and NFTs. So on that day, Mojang and Microsoft decided to ban all NFTs and any blockchain technology to be associated with their Minecraft client. So there is fear and panic within the market. Everybody started talking about this, and the token tanked hard. And at one point, the world token fell below a penny with a market cap of less than $5 million. And those 10,000 worlds, at one point that was trading for $30, $40, $50,000, are now trading for only hundreds of dollars. A loss of 99% in value overnight. And I remember getting up that morning thinking this was nuclear Armageddon for anybody that was using Minecraft with blockchain technologies and NFTs. So there was a lot of confusion and panic within the community. Arcontempt, the founders of the project, was at a crossroad. They had a very important decision to make. One was to walk away, rug pull the project, and take the easy way out. The other way was to rebuild this entire realm over time, starting from scratch again. And you know what Arc took if you're watching this video right now. So they went through many months to years of hard work, rebranding the entire project to HYTOPIA, building up their own client, converting the token from World 1 to World 2 to TOPIA that we know today, to launching HighChain, their very own native L2 for blockchain gaming, all the way to here December 6th of 2024, where they made this huge announcement that they're ditching Minecraft compatibility and going full HYTOPIA. What this means is they're no longer trying to make a game client that's backwards compatible with Minecraft, but they're building their own UGC platform. So I think this was a pivotal moment for HYTOPIA because they were building their own user-generated content platform, very similar to Roblox, but with its own custom game engine. And we just jump on the platform right over here. You can see that there are about 12 games, and these games are all playable right now. I'll show you a bit of the gameplay footage, and I'll also drop the link in the description below for those of you who want to try out the games. But there are a lot of cool games to start, and this is the infancy of the UGC platform. This is what we've been talking about for 3 years, and finally Arctemp and the entire HYTOPIA team has delivered it. So here's a clip of Arc playing and testing out zombie survival. For those of you who are familiar with Call of Duty Zombies, it's one of my favorite games, so it was really nice to see that this would be one of the first games on the HYTOPIA UGC platform. And this is Keep Crashes, one of my favorite games on the platform, where it's a PvP team-based action where there's a couple of different modes where you try to outplay the other team. And the team held its game jam where you got to see a lot of these initial games being featured and people testing them out. And even I jumped in playing these games, and you can see that it's really smooth. It's running at 120 FPS, which is really impressive, and the UI is slick. It feels very smooth, buttery smooth in order to play these games. So I really enjoyed the experience coming right out the door. This is a really smooth finish for an initial start. So one of the major advantages that I see right away is that this platform is entirely web-based. You don't have to download any clients. It's one click button and you're starting to play the games already. So you can see that the project and platform has come a really long way. Now let's talk about some of the tech and the reasons why players would want to migrate from other UGC platforms onto HYTOPIA. So number one is their custom game engine that's Voxer based. Now HYTOPIA is heavily influenced by Minecraft, but now by building from completely scratch, 100% from Rust, building up their own game engine, they are completely proprietary, meaning they have no IP that's tied to Minecraft. They're using new codes, so no structures or models that's taken from Minecraft. So now developers can use their limitless imagination to build what they want without the constraints of Minecraft. Now, one of the things I notice about their tech, look at the FPS, the frames per second. This is how many images, frames, that the game can pump out per second. So the higher the FPS, the more smoother a game feels. Now, to give you some standards, if you look right over here at the gameplay, HYTOPIA is running at over 100 FPS, sometimes even 120. In terms of the standard right now, 30 FPS is the bare minimum. So those are the playable old school games. Feels very choppy. Think about The Legend of Zelda, if you can remember that far. Now 60 FPS is the sweet spot for most gamers, okay? It feels very smooth and standard on most consoles and PC. So you can think about Minecraft, the Java edition, or Roblox, Brookhaven, like I told you about earlier. So that's the standard of what you should expect. Now above 60 FPS, that's extra buttery. That's especially for fast games. So you're thinking about AAA titles like Call of Duty and Fortnite. So right now, the fact that HYTOPIA is performing above 100 FPS, I do expect it to slow down as we get more busier, but that shows me they are running at a really quick pace. Number 2 is the robust developer support and the ease of build on HYTOPIA, just like the way Roblox has it. If you just jump right over here onto their website, you can see they lay out a very comprehensive software development kit, so their SDK. It provides a full-feature SDK for developers. I think the toolkit really enables creators to build custom games, experiences, and mods within the HYTOPIA universe, giving them that technical foundation so they can craft whatever it is that they can imagine. And you can see their APIs are very comprehensive for scripting and customization. What it does is it makes it easier for a very broad range of developers, from your typical hobbyist person who plays on the weekend to your pros. This way they can tweak the gameplay and mechanics or integrate features within a game that they like. And I think this text-to-game feature that Ark's talking about here is going to be a game changer, because it's going to lower the barriers for non-technical developers and people who just want to create games that are fun to play. And he says it right here, anyone can be a game developer. So here's a great example of that. Ash, who is a very passionate community member who puts out awesome educational videos, so go over there and give her a follow. She talks about how text-to-game with the HYTOPIA SDK is so good. I just finished up a video explaining how to use Cursor to make HYTOPIA games with AI, including custom rules that made just for the HYTOPIA SDK. So she's already posted this video. You can go and check out this video. It actually shows you somebody with zero game development experience can actually make games, and this was what the founders had in mind. So if you look at the game editor or the interface that lets creators design worlds, items, or experiences without deep coding knowledge, you can see that HYTOPIA is very similar to Roblox Studio, but with a voxel focus base. So another thing that you could do is integrate the blockchain technologies that you want. So by integrating through their high-chain Ethereum Layer 2 scaling solution that's made directly for gaming, you can be able to use the elements that you want. And finally, you can see that they're building a marketplace right over here. It's a one-click in-game trading hub, no external sites needed, where you can trade, buy, sell your items that you own right over here, which is something that is not possible in native Minecraft right now. So everything that HYTOPIA is doing is trying to lower the barriers for developers to come in and create unique content for the platform. So you could see that Arc and Temp is really prioritizing their UGC platform with a creator-first ecosystem where both players and developers can share, they can build, and they can monetize their experiences and games that they're going to build on there together. So HYTOPIA's goals have changed drastically. Their mission is now to become a community-driven space, similar to Roblox, where imagination drives content, and no longer just about building a single game engine or client that is backward compatible where developers license it. Now, no project is without its problems and challenges, and I want to address some of them here because they're some of the most common questions that come up among the community members. The first issue are the constant pivots, resets, and directional changes. Now, the game and project has dropped since October of 2021, so it's almost been 4 years, and we've been getting non-stop directional changes. Even, for example, HighChain, our Layer 2 gaming chain. There's been 2 side game spin-offs from it, so Loot Legends and Dragon Legends, but so far none of those have panned out. You could see why people are upset at the lost time, the resource spent, and then the changes in direction. Now, I'm glad that Temp and the team addressed this directly onwards. You can read their statement, but going forward, what I believe is right for the project is they're now 100% on pushing the HYTOPIA UGC platform forward. Now, a second major issue is marketing. Gone are the days of build it and they will come, because they will definitely not come if your product is not shown. I get this question from many community members all the time. What is HYTOPIA's strategy and approach to marketing, getting their product out there? So outside of the team running competitions, game night, and community members posting on X, there hasn't been a lot of external marketing yet. And I think that's what people are wondering. But now, with a solid product out there, our own UGC platform with their custom game engine built in there, they can now market it to the end users, which are the gamers and developers. And we're starting to see some of that right now, but I hope to see more of that in the near future. And then finally, a question that I always get are the legal issues around Minecraft and possibly suing HYTOPIA. Now, yes, HYTOPIA is heavily influenced by Minecraft, but so was Notch. He was heavily influenced by Infinity Miner, that became his cave game, that became the Minecraft that we know of today. If you take a step back, you could see that Arc and Temp did their best. What they did was they stripped the game down to nothing. They built it up from scratch, 100% built from Rust, completely proprietary, using nothing from Minecraft. So no codes, no textures, no models taken from Minecraft. The entire IP they own on their own. So yes, is there a possibility of being sued? The answer is yes. But the likelihood of them coming out, now I'm not a legal expert myself, but taking a look back at it, you can see they've done everything to protect the project and themselves. And then finally, I just want to talk about TOPIA, the in-game currency of the HYTOPIA ecosystem, just like Robux is to Roblox and Minecoins is to Minecraft. So right now, if you look at TOPIA, it's trading at 1.2 cents right here as of today, right? The market cap right here shows it to be 10 million with a circulating supply of 835 million tokens in circulation. If you want to be accurate, you go over to their tokenomics, you scroll down, you find their API, and if you look over here, if you go into their API, you can see that it's actually 1.5 billion tokens that are in circulation today and not 835. So keep that in mind. If we go back here and we factor that in, it actually gives us an $18 million market cap as of today's price. Now, if I look at today and I go back to the previous chart and I ask myself what happened in between. So right over here, when it reached its all-time high, right, of 62 cents, back in Feb of 2022, it crashed with the Minecraft. You know, we went into a bear market and then we came out. So we're trading exactly the same as what it did after the Minecraft crash and the bear market. So what it tells me today is that what happened was the team delivered a UGC platform with their own custom game engine. So the risk, in my opinion, is a lot lower over here than it is over here when there was zero product and there was zero direction because the team made so many changes, so many pivots. But now we finally have a direction and we're going towards something that's great. Now remember that none of this is financial advice because it's extremely risky, this market. So this is not an endorsement to buy or sell the token. I want you to do your own research and be really careful before you get into anything. In terms of going forward, I do think that this token has a lot of potential because from here, even if it 30x's at its $18 million market cap, even if you account for the 1.5 billion tokens that are in circulation, at 30 million, it caps in at 540 million market cap, which is significantly lower than a lot of its competitors who have built nothing of this grand scale. So I won't talk anymore about the token or where I think the price is going because the team has a big announcement to make and it's coming out very soon. So expect that and look for their updates. So now that we've gone through the history and the evolution of UGCs, I can't help to notice that HYTOPIA is very similar to the early days of Roblox and Minecraft. It's a cross between the two. It comes with the aesthetics of Minecraft, but functions like a business model of Roblox. I do feel that the development on HYTOPIA will at least go at 10 to 100 times faster than what developers had access to when they started out in Roblox or Minecraft. This way, with their text to game, along with their AI and their development tools, it will help creators create rapid games at a lightning speed on HYTOPIA. So I do look forward towards HYTOPIA's future. So if you made it up to this point in the video, I really want to thank you for your time and watching the video. Please consider subscribing because I do spend a lot of my time researching and coming up with one of these videos. So I'll see you next time.